What's up, everybody? We're hanging out on twitch.tv/Lawler, hanging out with chat. As you guys can see, they're all saying what's up to you, YouTube frogs. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. For those that don't know, there was some European tiebreaker things going on between three teams: Flying Dutchman, 00 Nation, and Evil Geniuses. All three of these teams were tied for overall points in the rankings, and there was a little bit of a tilly, a little bit of a tussle, a little bit of a fight with the community, because even though the rules were okay, everything else was not. They decided to follow a structure that was against the written rules, and it caused some frustrations. But in today's video, we're going to talk about what that scenario was. Then we're going to talk about what it led to, the results, and then third and foremost, we finally got the matches of who's going to be playing who in the regional for Friday. Really exciting stuff. So with that said, let's take a look at where it originated from, how it kind of evolved, and all the other crazy nonsense that went down last weekend. So if you guys didn't see, on Reddit, there was a post saying, yo, tiebreaker details are going on. We finally got to figure out, yo, these three teams are tied. What's going to happen? The EU regional manager decided to put out and say, hey, the brackets are live. This is the tiebreaker. This is what's happening. And with three people playing, they do kind of like a page playoff system. They take the top two in the ratings and have them play each other. The loser of that then goes plays the third and final team, because they want to reward consistency based upon overall results. And a lot of people are like, am I missing something here? Is there something going on? Because according to these own rules that you've written, this is wrong. So the way that the bracket showed, and we're going to preview the results early, Flying Dutchman and 00 Nation played each other. 00 Nation lost. They play Evil Geniuses. According to the rules that are in like the official RLCS rules document, Evil Geniuses should have been playing in the top, not 00 Nation. And a lot of us believe it's due to recency bias. In the last regional, Evil Geniuses did not perform as well as 00 Nation, and that is why we think it's been done. And you can see it written in the comments. People asking about why things are done. You know, are EG being punished for not making the playoffs in the last regional? Why do they only have one life while 00 Nation has two? To which the EU regional manager says, seeding for the tiebreaker bracket matches the seeding we've been using throughout the season for points, Swiss standings, with most recent event stage placement being the tiebreaker for seeding. So he does clarify. He's like, yes, most recently 00 Nation did perform better, so they get the benefit of the tiebreaker. And then he explains the differentials between their performances. Flying Dutchman tied 5th for day 2, 6th for day 1. They're 3-2 with a +3 game differential. That's why they're first. Second, 00 Nation, they tied 5th day 2, 8th day 1, 3-2 with a -1 game differential. And then they go to Evil Geniuses with a 0 differential, which is ironic because a 0 differential is better than a -1 differential. So even in his own wording, that to me is kind of weird. But the reason why they're doing it is just because there's not enough results. They have more results while the other team does not. Funny thing, though, is the next exact quote from the rules that are from the rule book in section 2.37 and 2.38. 2.37, tiebreakers for RLCS regional, major, or world championship qualification spot in the event of a tie for regional, etc., blah, blah, blah. 1 best-of-7 match, which is what they're playing, but there's 3 people involved, etc. If there's multiple people for seeding purposes, these are how they will go. The ties between 2 or more teams will be determined in this order: cumulative RLCS points, they're all tied; the team with the better head-to-head match winning percentage during the full RLCS regional; and then 3, the team with the better head-to-head game differential during the full RLCS season. And that's part of the issue. Guy breaks it down, makes a nice fancy graphic, shows the differences, and it clearly shows EG is in second. There is no reason that should have happened. And that's where the frustration lies, is in your own rule book, it shows that EG should be above. And that's a yikes. That's not okay. That is stuff that should not be happening. And why is it the Reddit detectives got to point that out? And then you don't even fix it. It still goes through. Like, come on. This stuff should not be happening, chat. It's stuff like this that is very, very frustrating. So ultimately, nothing changes. They continue to ignore the rules. At the end of the day, RLCS admins have the ability to do whatever they want. That is also part of the rules. They have the ability to make changes and decisions based upon what they feel is right. So I guess they feel Evil Geniuses decides that they only get 1 life. I don't know. Either way, Flying Dutchman comes out. They smack 00 Nation. I do think Flying Dutchman, shoutouts to you guys, now heroic officially, take the victory. They 4-1. 00 Nation drops down. Really close match against EG. Goes 4-3. 00 Nation wins. Whether EG came in a little bit slow because they didn't get a warm-up, who knows? Some may also argue that 00 Nation going up against the better team may have a poor mentality. Either way, It's for a tiebreaker spot in the open qualifier. So these teams, Flying Dutchman, 00 Nation, move on into the main event. So they automatically qualify for this guy. Okay. We then go to the closed qualifier, and we've got a bunch of different teams. As you can see, Evil Geniuses is in there because they did not qualify for the big one. So these teams are now in the closed qualifier. They're all competing for a spot. We're not going to go too much into detail of this, but we do have our 8 teams progressing, and there's some pretty exciting results there. A couple things of note. Guild and Team Liquid consistently show to be dookie booty. They do not qualify, but Barcelona, a team that's constantly gone 3-2, goes 3-0 with big wins over Giants, Guild, and they end up playing Cookster's Minions, which we'll talk about in a bit. Williams Resolve also shows consistent results, 3-0. SK Gaming putting up pretty good results. Team Queso, Cookster's Minions, which is Cookster's new team, which is absolutely fantastic to see him back in the main event. Evil Geniuses goes to 5. Big spooky there, but they do clutch it over Guild. K-Corp, also big spooky. After going 0-3 like Vitality did, they barely qualified too. They end up beating Wild 3-0. And then Vodafone Giants barely qualifying as well, 3-2. So there is some contrast in this. Navi, shout outs to Spooks, who is a regular community member of mine. I talked to him about Navi, and he had some words to say, and I continue to be right, which is always, we take that anytime for the banter. So sucks to suck, Spooks. Jokes aside, very tough matches across the board. It is good to see some of the more consistent teams continuing to show that consistency in the top 16, which then brings us into our last part, which is the main event. We've got our 16 teams and who they're going to be. We've got our teams based upon the point rankings: Endpoint, BDS, Dignitas, Misfits, Semper, Vitality, Heroic, which is coming from the Tiebreaker, which is the former Flying Dutchman team, and then Zero Nation coming from the Tiebreaker, which is obviously a team that had a really good performance in the last regional. These are your 8 teams that are basically given the automatic bid into the main event, even though these 2 played in the Tiebreaker. So it says Tiebreaker underneath it. These 8 teams are then the teams that are coming through the lowers, but technically none of that matters because the way matches are done are based upon your overall power rankings. You can see that down below on the bottom right of your screen. These are the teams and their rankings. Chat's kind of in the way. Let's extendo this a little bit. So based upon how these are, 1 will play 16, 2 will play 15, 3 will play 14, blah, blah, blah. I actually started doing this manually, and then chat yelled at me and was like, it's already posted. What are you doing? Turns out I had to refresh Liquipedia, and then all the matches got populated. And here they are. So if we enhance these, you can see the first matches for the event. You're going to see Dignitas go up against Cookster's Minions. That's a really tough pull. Like, Cookster's got to go and play Dignitas, the best team in Europe right now. What a weird world we're in now that Dignitas back on top. Who would have thought? Who would have thought all it took was Screpula? Kind of weird. BDS going up against Barcelona. Endpoint versus Giants. Misfits versus Queso. Semper versus SK. Vitality versus Williams Resolve. Heroics versus K-Corp. 00 Nation versus EG. I think a majority of these are pretty straightforward. You've got Dignitas, BDS, and Endpoint, I think, taking their matches. Misfits should take their match. I think Queso will probably put up an okay fight, but Misfits, if they're the team that I think they're our top 5 capability, should crush it. Semper should beat SK, but I'm sure SK will somehow upset. Vitality, Williams Resolve. I think Williams Resolve could upset that one. Heroics, K-Corp. That's a fantastic match. That's my match to watch. You've got Flying Dutchman going up against K-Corp. That's an exciting game. K-Corp has not looked all that great in the past 2 times that we've seen them. So I'm hoping they show up. They're trying to fight for a land spot. Right now, they're sitting at 10th. They need some major points to make up for it. On Friday this week, I'm pretty sure I'll be covering the actual playoff scenarios and actually wording them correctly this time. So if you guys want to know what teams need to qualify, there's like 17 teams that are still in the running for tiebreakers to make it to the major. It's actually pretty nuts. EU UB parity incarnate. I don't know what to tell you. And then 00 Nation EG. That one could be make or break for the teams. I think whoever wins this has a really good chance of moving forward, because getting thrown into that lower side of the bracket, big spooky with Swiss. So those are your matches. That's what we've got. Pretty good stuff. Hopefully that clarifies everything. So as a giant reminder, there was some stupid when it came to the admin rulings for the tiebreakers. Either way, 00 Nation and Flying Dutchman, now Heroic, are the ones that move forward. You then see Evil Geniuses have to drop down and play in the closed qualifier, which they do qualify, just barely. They're still in the main event. So all is well that ends well. Even though EG got bamboozled in the tiebreaker, they still make it. So we're good. Crisis averted. Good job, admins. Thanks for giving us that storyline. Jokes aside, chat, that is going to do it for this. People watching on YouTube, if you guys want to be a part of these, if you guys want to interact with the chat, sometimes I pull some of you guys' corpse. Like maybe someone will say something funny as we close out this video, and that's a way to be a part of it. But it's also cool to just see you guys talking down here, over there, that's where it is. Either way, appreciate you all being here. Appreciate you guys tuning into the video. If you guys do enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.